What's up, everybody? 5 minutes of Hobby with Cage thoughts today, brought to you by Arena Club and Bleecker Trading. It's going to be an interesting one today. We got the Fanatics Fest about a week away as you guys are listening to this. As you know, while you listen to it, might already be less than a week. And I'll definitely be there. So if you're going, send me a DM. Let me know if say hi. I'll be there, mostly probably with my son, playing a lot of soccer, running around the activations of the leagues and that kind of stuff. If I run the 40 this time, I will record it. I 100% will stretch beforehand because my hamstrings weren't right for like a month after that. But I'm really looking forward to it. But one of the things that I'm going to, talk about here, and I guess my hobby thoughts on it is, Neo Cards and Comics put a video up. If you haven't checked it out, take a look. Where he basically said that he confirmed with PSA, PSA is not going to be there grading on site. And I looked at the floor plan that Fanatics sent out, and you can see a lot of companies there, but it doesn't look like PSA is on the map, which is odd. And for big shows, PSA being there is a big deal. Especially last year, they were doing, you don't want to call it on-site grading because it wasn't exactly on-site grading, but because PSA has an office in New Jersey, they were taking in the cards in the beginning of the show, whether you came on Friday morning, Friday afternoon, whatever it was, they were taking it to New Jersey and they were bringing it back during the show to grade it. So, people probably got their stuff back late Saturday or even on Sunday. And with the card marketplace there, that's an important thing. It's an important thing for liquidity. People bring cards. People go to that show to bring cards. Like I have Beckett 9.5s with 10 autos that I'd love to, hand off to PSA and say, hey, will this cross? Even if it's a PSA 9 with a 10 auto, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And I don't have to go too far to do it. I don't have to put the card in the mail. I just walk in, give it to them. They have it. They do their thing and they give it back to you and you get it right back that same weekend because I plan on being there, the whole time. And if it crosses over, great. Or raw cards. People can buy raw cards at that marketplace and grade it with PSA and get it back a day or two later and literally create liquidity in the room, right? If it grades a 10, if they buy a raw card and it grades well, they could sell it there, and people know that. People know also, that, if PSA is there grading, if you buy a raw card, it doesn't have to go to the mail. You take it from the table and bring it over there and grade it. You know what it is, it's out of your hands. And even if you're getting it sent back home, you drop it off and it's there. And PSA was busy last year at Fanatics Fest. A long line, a lot of people. And I wonder why. You could take it from a bunch of different ways, right? I have some submissions sitting at PSA that have been sitting there for a while. Maybe they're just so busy. You see the gem rate reports. They're, grading more cards than ever. And I don't want to call it a backlog. I haven't heard the word backlog really in a while. That was a kind of a COVID grading terminology. But, maybe they're like, we don't really need to take in more cards. Like, we're getting enough cards. They have the New Jersey office and they do walk-ins. I think they have like a walk-in Wednesday. Maybe the thought was, why do we need to set up, at the Javits Center when our Jersey office is pretty darn close to it? Anybody who wants to walk a card in can walk the card directly into the New Jersey office. It's not that far of a commute even from Javits. Maybe that's part of it. Or maybe there's something deeper. Maybe there is some competition going on here. Maybe there is, maybe the PSA Fanatics relationship is not, as strong as one might think. Who knows? It leads you to a lot of different, kind of questions. I got to tell you, my thought of the day, my 5 minutes of hobby thought, the last 30 seconds is I'm kind of disappointed. Because I was planning on bringing a lot of cards that I've purchased recently, cards that are raw, cards that are in Beckett's labs, and especially with, PSA's new minimum grade. I was planning on, bringing a lot of stuff and saying, I need a minimum 9 on this. This one I need at least a 10. Grade it, don't grade it. Hopefully it meets my minimum grade. And now, now I'm going to have to bring them to the National, which is fine too. But it would have been cool if I could have got them graded here and had them graded with me already to bring to the national so that I could sell instead of, worrying about dropping it off and picking up a national, which is, also very, very busy. So, I'm sure more information will come out about it. But, in case you didn't see Neo's, video, I wanted to cover it here because it's sort of newsworthy. I think a lot of people who are going to go to Fanatics Fest, especially people who were there last year and remember the PSA setup, will be surprised to go there and not see them. And you can kind of see it, if you want to scroll down to last year's video of me, you can see it. I'm kind of, in a suit and I do like a live, like it's only like half my head. You can see I'm in like the food area. Of course, it's me. Drinking a Diet Coke. Of course, that's me. And I kind of do a quick scan around the first Friday, and right there in the back, huge setup is PSA. And it's going to be odd that they're not there. Because if you look at their website, they're in a lot of places. There are a lot of shows. I think they're even at other shows the same weekend, but they don't seem to be at Fanatics Fest. Maybe that'll change between now and then. We still got a week, but newsworthy. And my hobby thoughts are, I'm disappointed. I was hoping to take advantage of on-site PSA because it changes a show. And there you go. I will continue to research this and continue to ask questions. But that was my thoughts of the day. I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it because becoming a Fanatics Fest, it's something different from last year. You might be able to see some wrestlers. You might be able to, run the 40, but it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get your cards graded on site. So, episode brought to you by Blicky Rating and Arena Club. Thanks, guys. Let me know what you think. If you're still enjoying these 5 days, I'm getting some really nice messages telling me to just keep doing them because you guys are enjoying the 5-minute format, which always ends up being close to 7 minutes anyway. Talk to you guys soon. I'll talk to you tomorrow.